is the understanding of the depth, okay, of that one particular segment of this business. So agribusiness system is very wide, and there are ample number of opportunities. Okay, so broadly there are three. Okay, the first one is the agri inputs. Okay, so you'll have your seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, farm machinery equipments, water. Also, it is becoming very important input, of late. Then there are these power of fuel to run the farm machinery, and also for uh, for running pumps, etc., irrigation equipment, etc. Then if you look at cattle and all of that, feed is very important element. And then there are variety of services which include credit, extension services, information related services, also delivery related services. So there are variety of these which are the basic input. So this one part of the agribusiness system. The second part is about production system, where things are being produced. Okay, so there is production of crop products, okay, livestock products, your milk and all those stuff, milk, ghee, butter, etc. All right, also your poultry products and all of that, broiler and eggs and all of that. So you may consider that livestock related product. Then there is fishery product. Okay, large number of stuff which is being made out of the aquaculture and all of that. And the last one from the production system is forestry related product. This is an area which has tremendous potential, but not been explored too much, because it is believed that the forests are far off, not well connected, and there is less demand. But actually there is a demand. For example, there is this gum, lac, these are quite important. Your bee and all those things, honey and all those products which are made out of that, they are all important. Various kinds of fruits are there, arid fruits, arid vegetables, and the products out of those fruits and vegetables. Okay, so there are these products. So all these are quite important. Also wood is one forestry product given less importance as such, if you look at agribusiness, but these are very important. Now, so that's part two. Part one is about agri inputs, part two is about the production system. All right, and the third part, which is extremely important, all right, is about processing and the trading and the marketing of it. So if we look at the conventional system, there has been a lot of focus, and people think agriculture means production. No, agriculture also means production of agri inputs, and also generating agri services. Also, there are ample number of opportunities on the other side of the production, which is towards processing. So if you look at processing, there is huge potential there. All right, large number of products can be made. Okay, new products can be made, innovative products can be made. Okay, also then there is this marketing. There are big gaps in the marketing. There is ample number of opportunities if you just look at making the product available to your consumers in different parts of the world. Okay, there is ample number of opportunities just in delivery. Processing itself offers a ample number of opportunities. All right, export, import, and all those things are always there. Also, there are opportunities, making people aware about the benefits of certain kinds of products being formed, and so such kinds of services. So overall, three broad division. Okay, the inputs, the production, and the processing, and other. Okay, so today largely we are going to talk about the output side of agribusiness, that is the processing. Okay, the processing and this trading. So we'll look at certain models which have been there for some time. Some of the models are very old, from 1940s, Amul model and all of that we'll talk about. Some are very new. Okay, last 10-15 years they have seen the light of the day, and all these models offer some solutions for the agri graduates and the agri entrepreneurs. They offer new kinds of lessons to be learned. It is not just about producing efficiently. Okay, and all of that. It is much more than that. Agribusinesses have certain characteristics, all right, which have to be understood, and then making the things available to the large number of consumers. Okay, and particularly in the way or in the form they want. All right, so let me give few characteristics or features of agro industries as such, more towards the output agri businesses. Okay, All right. So I hope my slide moves. I'm on slide number 3. I hope that slide is in front of you. Okay. Characteristics of agro industries. All right. So we are largely going to talk about the output-based agribusinesses, processing and marketing. So there are 3 important dimensions or 3 important characteristics. Okay. The first one is seasonality. Everything that you want from this sector is not available throughout the year. It is available only during certain seasons. Okay. For example, mangoes, you will not find all kinds of mangoes. For example, in Gujarat, if you are looking for the kesaram, okay, which is saffron, okay, in that color, is not available throughout the year. If you want certain quality, it's not available throughout the year. Okay, the quantity is not available. Okay, there can be some amount through protected cultivation that's there, but largely, if you look at it, is not available. There is seasonality involved into it. You'll not find that challenge is there. Okay, and that thing has been encashed by a large number of firms. So therefore, that mango stuff, or if you talk about another mango Alfonso, what have companies done? Companies have thought of processing those mangoes and turn them into juices and pickles and all of that. This has been going for years, but now these companies have been doing it. Okay, they are making these products available throughout the year. Maybe not in that form, raw form, but in various forms the products are being made available. So you may have seen that maza and all of that. What do they say? Har mausam aam. They have come to the level of saying that, okay, mangoes are not available throughout the year. Let us offer you that, okay, in form of that mango juice, okay, which is some mango pulp plus water plus sugar, and you have your maza, or the other one, slice and all of that. So what are they offering you? They are offering you mango pulp with water and all of that, and you are buying because you want to taste your mangoes throughout the year. For example, Alfonso, it is not available that much, throughout the year. A large part of it is exported. Okay. So if you want to have a taste, they say, okay, we'll have a part of it. We'll add sugar to it. We'll add water to it. And plus some additives and preservatives, and you will have your Alfonso juice, and you can taste that mango throughout the year. You can have the same feeling. Okay. Also, people may say, nutrition wise, it is not as equal to that, but you are getting that product, they'll say, at least you are getting that product, you can taste it. So that's available. So seasonality is one important dimension, okay, and which can play a very big role if people work on it. So for example, Maza has looked at, okay, pulp, and then they worked it that way. But can you look at some other aspect? For example, protected cultivation. Okay, so it gives you a lot of opportunity, right? You can have your greenhouses and these, environment, and then you can produce. You can produce this during off season, and then there is always a demand for these products, so you can sell. And the thing is, when you are producing it during off season, the demand is extremely high. So if you can just make it available, you can have a higher price for the mangoes. Your law of demand will come here. Okay, that means when your law of demand and law of supply would come here. If the supply is very less and the demand is there, people are willing to pay higher prices. So that seasonality can be looked at. The agro industry has this particular aspect. Some may consider it as an weakness. Okay, it is in a sense a weakness, but this can be turned into opportunities. The companies have done it. Agribusiness companies have done. Maza har mausam aam. It has found new buyers through that. It has stopped selling that mango juice in that bottle as juice or as an energy drink, but it is selling it as mango. Okay, that you have a mango available. You don't have mango available in the market. It is in this form, juice form, you have mango available. Why don't you have it? Okay, throughout the year. So that is there, seasonality. This is one characteristics of agro industries. Okay, which is both a challenge as well as opportunity. Okay, the second aspect is perishability. Okay, that means the products that are being made, by these industries, a large number of them are perishable. They have a very short shelf life. Milk and milk products, Largely milk, if you look at, curd and all of that have short shelf life. The quality goes down, although it may not completely deteriorate, but the quality goes down as you, kind of keep it. So that's a challenge, and that's why there is a requirement of the cold chains and cold storages and various kinds of refrigeration things, etc. They are needed because these products are perishable. Your fruits, vegetables, etc., which are being made, okay, or which act as a raw material for these industries is perishable. So they have to be used very fastly. Okay. Now that gives again a challenge as well as opportunity to the people who are involved into it. Opportunity is that, there is something which is perishable. All right. So people would like to have it as fast as possible. They'll pay, they'll take it home and use it. Okay. So there is this opportunity. And it's a challenge for the people who are involved in making it, stay for a long time. So for them, it's a challenge that it's going to go, the quality would go down if we'll not take care of it. So perishability, another dimension, which is a two-way sword again. The third dimension, is variability. Okay, so the products which are being used as raw material for agro industries or even the output has variability. Okay, each fruit has its own shape and size. Each product that comes out of it has its own chemical composition. Somewhat they may be similar, but not exactly similar. So there is variability, different forms, shapes, sizes, and that creates a challenge for these industries to look at. They cannot say each fruit will be of this size and all of that. If you look at the industries which are using the products coming out of the agriculture production as raw material, they'll find it very challenging. Think of a chips making factory, think of it. They want, potatoes of uniform size so that it's quite easy to cut. If they are going for the mechanization or if they are using machinery, you want the potato to be peeled off, okay? The peelings have to be removed. If the potato is longer, it's very easy to make chips, uniform chips. Otherwise, first of all, you have to go for the cleaning of the peelings, and then you need to, then it's very difficult to have the uniform size of chips. Otherwise, we'll have very small chips, very big chips. And in a pocket, in a packet, you will not like, 5-10 kinds of chips, you like of uniform size. So these things, make a lot of challenge, or they provide a lot of challenge to the factories which are working. So the agro industries have this set of big challenges: seasonality, perishability, and variability. They do offer a lot of opportunities, but it has to be understood that way. Marketers have to then think it that way and, to take it forward to the consumers. So it has to be understood. Now, the current set of agro industries which are there, what do? They focus on few aspects. Okay. The first aspect they look at is storability. That means, can I store the product which I have, okay, for a long period of time? Okay. This is so important, People would love to consume or have a product at the time of their choice. Okay. If they want to consume it today, they should have the choice. If they want to consume it tomorrow, after 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, they should have choice. Now, if you give them milk today and say you use it, if you want to use it tomorrow, you have to boil and all of that, they may not like it, Okay. You have to give them the product which has a longer shelf life. So the current agri businesses or the agro industries, to be in particular, they are looking at the storability. Okay, particularly increasing the shelf life of the product by either some processes. For example, for milk, there is pasteurization of milk. Also, there is condensing of the milk. Okay, there is cooling of the milk or heating of the milk, converting the milk to milk products, variety of milk products. Okay, newer forms of milk product, newer forms of curd and yogurt. Okay, newer forms of ice creams, etc., are being made. Now, there they are putting effort to increase the storability. Okay, that aspect is also there. Also, they are looking at providing a variety to the consumer. So that is also very important. The second aspect which is there, for the modern day agro industries, okay, is they try to obtain the raw material very easily. Procurement of raw material is a big challenge. Okay, if you look at the agro industries or the agro processing industries in particular, you'll find that the challenge is or the biggest challenge is not about finding customers. A large number of industries in general have that challenge, that customers are not there. But agro industries, for agro industries, the challenge is to have the quantity and quality of raw material. The raw material is not available. Certain units, certain agro industries, okay, of firms which are involved, they are suffering not because of not having enough customers or not having enough demand. They are suffering because there is not much quality raw material available. Okay, because of the problems that I mentioned earlier: seasonality, perishability, and variability. So quality and quantity of raw material is a big challenge. So procurement itself is one of the big division of agro industries. Okay, otherwise it's like, normal process for any other industry, but for agro industry, that's a separate division, big one. It is not part of the operation department. There is a separate team working on it. Okay, separate set of people, and there are strategies being formed for procurement. There is formation of these, aggregation houses and warehouses and all those just for procurement. Okay, not for selling and not for, operations, but for procurement. So agro industries have this challenge, and the current agro industries are focusing on that, obtaining raw material easily. Third aspect, which the agro industries focus on, particularly the current ones, is about converting the product into economically transportable form. Okay, to transport milk is a big challenge. To transport bulky watermelons is another big challenge. So you have to, and then there is no end to these fruits, vegetables, and these products. To transport ghee is another challenge. Okay, to transport some other stuff, very difficult. Because if it's a liquid form, you have another challenge. There is a chance of leakage and all those. There cannot be the too much extremes of temperature, otherwise things would be very difficult. So that's a challenge. Also at times things are too bulky, watermelon, and then there is this jaggery and all of those that stuff. If they are too big or too small, it is not economical to transport them. Okay, also there is this seasonality always there, perishability always there. So if you have milk, you need to look at perishability, you need to address perishability and then transport. So when you convert milk into milk powder, or when you convert milk into ghee, the perishability factor is somewhat looked at. Okay, all right. So there are these, operations that happen and which these agro industries are doing. Okay, and the last one, extremely important, okay, is towards the customer side. Here the thing is enhancing the acceptability. For some people, yellow colored ghee is not what they accept. We want white colored ghee. White means pure. So you have to offer them that ghee, white colored ghee. And or they want that, maize or corn, white colored maize. Okay, not the orange colored or yellow colored. And some want orange colored, and the thing is, and some are fine with mixing of that. So that is always there. And there are newer forms. For example, there has been a lot of experimentation with soybean and its product, tofu milk and all those things. Now for centuries we have been consuming the milk, the conventional milk, and then paneer and all of that made out of milk, right? But these days there are these products which are soya milk, soya paneer, and all of that. Now finding the acceptability for these products is extremely important. They are cheaper, that's right, but consumers say paneer, that means it should be from milk, not from not from the soya bean, and so that is there. So enhancing enhancing acceptability of the product that you are making is very important. Similarly, the current day agribusinesses or agro industries in particular, they are focusing on nutritional value, the minerals that are being offered and all these things. And the third aspect, which they are looking at is convenience. Whatever product you are offering, it should be convenient to carry and to use, and for the consumer. For example, these days there are a lot of ready to eat products. All right, So they are very important. And there has been a lot of focus. So you will see a lot of agro industries, the current set of agro industries working on these four set of aspects: storability, procurement of raw material. They are focusing on converting the products into economically transportable form. And the last one, they are looking at enhancing the acceptability. They are focusing on nutritional value, and they are particularly focusing on consumer convenience. All right. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. I couldn't see the hands. Okay. All right. So these days, the agribusinesses that we have seen, and the image that some of you may, or very few of you may have, is that, okay, there is a farmer working with two bullocks and doing that. Nowadays, that's not the scenario, that's in very few pockets. Now it is a mechanized kind of agriculture, and the agro industries that we are talking about, they use a lot of, good technology. Okay. And they are using the competitive technology. They are making products which offer a lot of variety. And also, they cater to the needs of the consumers. That's it. Earlier, it was kind of supply driven. We give you this, you accept it. Nowadays, there's a lot of variety available to the people, variety of forms. So the current agro industries, they have become technology oriented and market oriented. They are using good technology, and they are catering to the needs of the market. They are market oriented, driven by market. So what market needs is being produced. Okay. Although the raw material is a big challenge, but still that, that struggle or that fight is always there to find the raw material for what the consumers want. Okay. So the current day agro industries are working on those aspects. All right. The next thing, if you just look at the journey of agro industries, okay, from pre-independence era to now, this decade particularly. So it has been a very, kind of a tumultuous journey. It has a lot of ups and downs. Okay. And what has it has seen, that throughout these years, these last 70, 80 years, largely 80 years, if you look at, the focus has been about to bring in value, bring in value addition, doing value addition to the agriculture output. It is no longer that you are giving us wheat or rice. You are giving us wheat and rice in certain way, certain packages, in variety of forms. So there has been the focus on value addition. So agro industries has seen that flow, the focus on the value. There has been increased focus on the value in last 80 years, okay, 70, 80 years. If you look from 1940s, about 80 years, that has been there. It is like that, the focus on value addition is becoming important. Also, what has been seen in last 80 years is that there is increase in rural employment. These industries, they give a lot of employment to rural youth, okay, and the rural masses, in one form or the other. If they are skilled, they'll find the places in factories. If they are in very small towns, and they offer a lot of employment to the people there. So it has been contributing to rural development. Okay. Am I audible? I hope I am. There is some issue. Okay. And the third aspect is that these agro industries, they are having a very big role. They have played a very big role, at least in last 80 years, to alleviate people out of poverty. So they have these social dimensions always attached to them. So they are very useful for the social upliftment. And that's why they have been supported by the government all through, in one way or the other, it has been supported. You have seen reforms coming in different, decades. There has been effort to bring in more and more reforms. Okay, there has been rollbacks, but there have been effort to find out the best possible solution to address the challenges and take the agro industries forward. There are multiple challenges for that. We are going to look at those challenges soon. But if you just look at this journey, from 1940s to 2020, let's say, So for these 70, 80 years, there has been three key phases, okay, and which you will find very interesting to know, okay. So the first thing was, the strategy was about the Gandhian Swadeshi, strategy, Gandhian grassroots strategy, which talks about that, a large number of these industries, they should be labor intensive. They should use as much, as much labor as possible, okay, and they should generate a lot of employment, and they should produce products which are useful for the rural as well as urban masses. So this the strategy was that less use of machinery, less use of technology. That's till 1950s, till independence, you may say. So till 1950, the strategy was the Gandhian Swadeshi principles that were being followed, okay. So your food, etc., should not have the technology and machinery coming in, but it should be more of, very, very simple machines plus a lot of manual labor, and that way. So if you look at technologies, not much there in 1950. That's the Gandhian principle that we have followed. Our agriculture industries have followed. Our agro industries have followed. This period was followed by the 20 years, about 20, 25 years of the Nehru Mahalanobis model. Okay, Mahalanobis, he was a famous statistician. Okay, and he, along with Prime Minister, then Prime Minister Nehru, they have worked on. Okay, we should look at technology also, and we should segregate the working of these industries. There are these products, there are these industrial goods which are also being used by these industries, though they should be taken care of by the big industries and the capital intensive industry, while on the other side, the food related stuff, they should still be labor intensive. So Mahalanobis model was that. It is during this period that maybe not because of this strategy, but there has been famines and shortage of food, and if you look at India, there were wars as well. So during this period, there has been the tough period if you look at agro industries, and also if you look at agriculture. So this period has been kind of a tough period for India. After that, there has been the advent of technology, modernization came in. Okay. You may talk about, let's say, then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and then there is this modernization which has come. Okay, in 80s, there has been use of technologies for oil, oil extraction, and then various products, milk processing, and all of that. A variety of new technologies came in. After 90s, there has been a lot of inflow of new technologies, new kinds of products. Okay, a variety of products become available in India. Okay, at that time, it became available to the customers. So they have all enjoyed, and found these new products, and these new products have encouraged the Indian, producers also to look at them and make. And this, ready to eat products and all those things have come after 1980s. They have found their places. So there are these three broad phases. Okay, so first one, as I mentioned, it was more about village industries. Okay, it was part of the political ideology for independence. Swadeshi, let's not focus. So that's what we have been doing. That's giving us fuel for our independence also. Okay, Swadeshi rakhne ka, Swadeshi. Let's not have the foreign technology. So that view was there. That view was there till 1950s. The problem there was that the inefficiency actually crept in, because manual labor may not bring in the speed that you want. It may not bring in the quality that you want, and such challenges were seen. If you look at the second period, Mahalanobis wala, 50 to 80s, this is more about like that they have said, okay, there are capital goods, they are for large scale, consumer goods. Okay, so largely the large scale goods, they should be capital goods. So for cars or for tractors, etc., they say yes, they are required. So there only the big players should come. In the case of your food, okay, various fruits, vegetables, oils, they say no, this should still be manual, and there should be a lot of use of labor. Okay, not much use of technology. So this era has seen that. So there has been those clashes and all of that. Here again, the big issue, the big problem which has been there is low efficiency, because the man or the labor, which that use manual labor, cannot bring in the speed that you want. It will not bring in the quality. Okay, so there was low efficiency. there was the issue of poor quality, and the thing is demand. The consumer are getting exposed to getting exposed to the Western world, so they want new technology to come in. They want good products, variety of products. Okay, and then again, what they're asking for is quantity. Okay, all throughout this period, India is growing. Okay, GDP was growing. Okay, some people are getting money, and what they're asking for is a variety of products. Okay, so there is a demand of the quantity. Okay, but the thing is, we don't have the speed. When you are using, you are on the manual labor largely, you'll not have the speed of the production. So three challenges there: low efficiency and unable to meet the quality and the quantity challenges. So that was your 50 to 80s. Okay, then there is this period when there is modernization, which is still continuing and will continue, because the technology, when it comes in, it's going to stay. People have seen its benefit. So the era, particularly after 80s, and 90s in particular, after that, what has been seen is the focus on productivity. Okay, focus on quality. These days, what we look at is quality. Okay, we look at the productivity. We look at the introduction and use of modern advanced technology. Okay, we look at, or the agro industries look at meeting the consumer demands. Okay, giving what consumer want, not just offering what you are producing, but offering what consumer wants. Okay, consumer look at the values that you offer rather than the product that you offer. Okay, they look at various aspects. Okay, what this period has also seen is the foreign investment. Okay, that has been allowed in agro industry. It's no longer seen that you should be Swadeshi. No, some foreign investment is important. There is always the exchange. You give something, you find something, you get something. So that is there. Now, if you look at this area, what is this period, particularly after 80s, it has also seen challenges. It has also seen weaknesses. So one of the big problem in this is that the rural development is somewhat left behind. Now, when you are looking at customers' demand, when you are looking at use of technology, you need skilled people. Okay, and you want to save time. You want to have efficiency. So you start producing things near to the market, which is in urban areas. Rural consumer may not be that big market for some of the products. Okay, so what is being seen is that the rural development was left behind. Rural sector was somewhat left behind. Okay, and as there is advent of technology, the employment, to the people has kind of reduced. And it's also obvious, because if you look at the agriculture sector in general, the contribution of agriculture to Indian GDP is around 13-15%. It has been hovering around that 15-17. It is 13 to 17%, while the people who are engaged in agriculture is around 50% plus. So if certain sector is giving you 15-17%, you can't let your people work on that sector. Okay, and also the earnings from that sector, or the remuneration or the reward from that sector may not be good enough, for 50% of the people to be happy with. Okay, there are other sectors which are offering more. Okay, and but for that, the skills are required. So there are these three key, or three different phases with their own set of challenges. So the current is there. So it is about that now you need to use technology, you need speed, you need quantity, you need quality, but also what you need is to involve the rural people into it, and you need to take the development to rural area. It should not be left out. Okay, because there are policymakers who are looking at that. Okay, so you have this challenge. How will you involve? One way is towards the procurement side, towards the raw material production. Why not you involve the farmers and the people who are producing the raw material into your system, and you tell them that this is the quality that we want. We are there to help you produce it for us. This is the quality that you want. We are going to help you with the quality, planting material, quality seeds. We are going to help you with quality agri inputs. Okay, that when you use, you will produce. You are going to generate produce which is worth processing. All right, so that's something which has been going on. So now the fight is on that side, towards the quality side, trying to involve the rural masses into it. Okay, the farmers into it. So if you look at a large number of startups that have come up in recent years, or the models that have come up in recent years, talks about involving a large number of small farmers. Okay, Now, let us look at some more aspects of agro industries. They are not similar to the normal industries. Okay, they are slightly different. Okay, okay. So, in which way? Now, if you look at the overall, spectrum, you will see that of all the industries that are there, about 41% of them are agro industries. About 40%, So their number is not insignificant. 40% of total industries is still agriculture based or agro industries. 60% is non-agro industries. Of these 40%, if you look at agro based, which is food based, related to food, okay, wheat, rice, and all those kind of stuff, ghee, oil, etc., which you consume, food, it's about 18-19%. While the textile, etc., which you don't consume, non-food based is about 22%. So food is about 18-19%. Okay, so otherwise textile, bamboo, and there are all these kinds of paper, wood, etc., they are non-food based. They're about 22%. Now, if you look at the employment that they give, so of the total employment which is being given by the industrial sector, this is on an average, about 15% is being given by agro-food industries, about 28% by agro-based non-food industries. So that will make it about 42-43% of the total employment being given by the industrial sector. Okay, so that is there. So you, as you can see, this is in a sense a fair, share. If you look at net value added, there we have a lot of concerns, and that's why I've said the focus is on value addition, and that's being looked at in current times. The new graduates and the new entrepreneurs that are going to come need to focus on the value addition. Now look at that. You about 42% or 43% of all the people who are into industries are into agro industries, but the value addition by these agro industries is only 19%. That means this is not fair. There is only 19% being value added, and the other non-agro industries, they are adding 81% of the value. So if you are a policy maker, obviously you are going to focus on the other sector, because the value addition is not from the agri sector. Okay, so that's why the money won't come too easily in the agriculture or the agro industry. Okay, because value addition is from these to the economy or as such is not high. One of the reason is that less use of technology, less use of processing. There is only the basic processes which are being done, not the higher ones. Lot of, I would say less focus on services. So what is required is that, the food based as well as agri based, just agro based industries, they should focus on value addition. They should look at services more than the production. Okay, otherwise this challenge will always remain, that you will have people who want to be in agriculture, but it is not going to remunerating. The one which is not adding value to the economy, and when there is this division or when there is this, the funds being given by anyone, the salaries, etc., won't be high because the value addition is less. Okay, so what is required is that the focus for today's graduate is about value addition. Look at various ways in which you can enhance the value, and you can raise these 7 to 10, 12, 15, and this 11 to 20 or so. So that's why there is a lot of focus on agro industries, particularly the processing ones, also related to the services. So if you're looking at inputs, then agri services is something which is important. Agri education and all those are important. Similarly, the consultancies and all those kind of services. Similarly, towards making new products, not just the basic processing. Turning mango into mango pickle is one, but one has to go beyond ready to eat kind of pickles, and such kind of stuff have to be looked at. Innovative products which adds value. All right, so that's there. All right. Now let us go forward. There is this next set of slide which will tell you about the use of capital in these industries. Okay, so if you look at overall industries, you will see the fixed capital, the money that's being put at first time to set these industries. You will say of the total money being put, okay, total fixed capital being put, on an average, you'll see that about 21% of that capital goes to agro industries and the remaining in non-agri. But if you look at employment, as we have seen previously, they employ 43% people, while the fixed capital which is being put is 21. So always there will be struggle. There will be more mouths to feed, okay, or more hands to offer, funds to, while the funds are limited. Of total funds, 21 is for you, but the people or the hands that you are looking at is 43, almost double. Okay, it's double. All right. So there will always be this struggle, and there is always this fight. Now, if you look at the ratio of the fixed capital, okay, to the employment, you'll find that it is about 30%. Okay, for agro industries, while for others it is just 10%. That means the agro industries provide employment to 30 or 3 times of that, on the fixed capital. So if there is a total of, let's say, 1 billion rupees being invested, okay, here Agri will have 3 times of the workers. So more hands and more mouths to feed in that sector. Okay, so it will always be a fight. That's what I'm putting. Okay, the next thing which is very important for these agro industries and for you people to note is that agro industries, the ratio of working capital to fixed capital. Okay, working capital is largely for the purchasing of raw material, to pay salaries, to pay the bills for various kinds of utilities, etc. Now this working capital requirement is as high as 50%. Okay, so that means if you have put in 1 crore in a unit, okay, to start that unit, you will require about 50 lakhs to meet the working capital requirements, half of that, which is very high. If you put in 10 crore in a unit, about 5 crore every year you will need to pay for the raw material, salaries, utilities. So the working capital is so high. So you should have the money, in hand. The thing is, you should have good cash flows, or the thing is, you should have the money in hand, to pay for that. If you look at general industries, it is about 30%, 29, 30%. So there you need to just have your 30% money, ready with you of that. So if you are putting in 1 crore, what you need for working capital is 30 lakhs. But in agro food based, 50 lakhs is what you want. If it is non-food based, about 37 lakhs. Okay, if it's a 1 crore investment. But overall, if you just look at average, it's 42, which is much higher than 30. So it's about, about 40% higher than the non-agro. So if you are going for an agro industry, you should always think about working capital first. You should think about it. This is much higher than the normal industries. Here you need to pay a lot for raw material. Here you need to pay, or you should be handy with that capital to pay for the salaries and all of that. One of the reasons is that there is use of the manual labor, and also there is the raw material, which is not as cheap as, or not as low value as in the normal industries. All right. Now, let me talk about some of the problems of agro industries which are there. So one of the many, which is there is raw material supply. That's a big challenge for these industries. It may look very, simple, but it is very, very difficult thing to address. Quantity and quality of raw material is a big challenge. It is not about the shape of the product and all those kinds of stuff, or timeliness, and all those things come late. Here the product is not available at all, right? Quality is not available. If you're looking at good quality of potatoes, not available. So when Pepsico came to India, some about 20 years back, the first thing that it worked upon is supply of good quality of chips potatoes, chipsona variety potatoes. So what it did, it went in for the contract farming. It ensures that these contract growers use our seeds that we are giving them, produce the potatoes the way we want. They'll follow our instructions, and we are going to procure those potatoes from them. So the raw material is so important for these companies. This has been for McCain. This has been for large number of other companies. That raw material is a big challenge, and this is the first thing they ensure if they want to invest. It is not about customers. The first thing Pepsi looked at is the raw material quality, or they have tried to secure that there is a raw material available. They have not looked at the market. They said there would be customers buying our chips and all of that. No worries about it. We'll work for that later, but we'll work for the good quality potatoes first. And they went into agreement with Punjab government. One PAFC was formed, Punjab Agro Food Corporation was formed. contract farming agreements were done, potatoes were being produced, the seeds, etc., were being taken from the Kufri, okay, the Potato Research Center, and so the seeds, etc., were being brought from there. There were arrangement, things were being produced, bank loans were also provided, credit linkage, agri inputs were also provided, and that's how the Pepsi created that model, and that's how they started. Your Lay's chips that you consume these days. Okay, for that they have put in a lot of hard work, and that too on the raw material side. Okay, so it's not just about finding customers. Okay, it is about finding the raw material right quality. The second constraint is in terms of processing. If you look at agro industries, a large number of them, you look at the sugar cooperatives or you look at the oil ones, there are these mills and ghanis you'll see. So you'll see the technology that they are using is not appropriate. The quality that's coming out of it is not good. There are still those particles, etc., in oil and the sugar cane, that they're using. There is not good extraction of sugar. There's a lot of sugar still left in those canes after they go for it. So there is a lot of wastage and all of that. The processing technology is not efficient, and so there are these challenges. There are constraints in marketing, so that challenge has always been there. The demands are scattered. Okay. There are financial constraints, as I mentioned. Working capital is one big challenge, and finding it is another one. It's very difficult for these units to find the working capital. Okay, so some of them run out of money. Okay, they have big units, big machinery there, but not enough to pay salaries to their people, to their employees. So their production gets stuck. So there are these challenges as well, meeting the working capital requirements. Also, the government policy has not been uniform throughout. Certain products are being taxed, differentiatively. Okay, there has been discrimination in terms of also taxation. For example, if you look at the raw fruit, etc., they are not being taxed, but the products made out of them is taxed. Okay, so that's there. Your butter, etc., is something which is basic stuff, but it is being taxed. Okay, and much more than the curd from which it is being made. So that is always there. Milk is not taxed, but the milk products are being taxed. Okay, your ghee may not be a luxurious good, but it's being taxed, right? Ghee is being consumed. So there has been these policy problems there. Also, there has been ad hoc policies and all of that. So there are these set of problems in this sector, and certain models have looked at certain good models have come up, emerged during these 70, 80 years, who have tried to address these challenges one way or the other. They have given some lessons. For example, the first one is Amul model, which you all know, and you must have consumed one or the other product of Amul. Now, what it has done, 1940s, what it has done is it has seen that, that there are these set of, consumers which are there in Mumbai. When we just talk about in the beginning, they said there is this Paulson dairy which is collecting milk from us, from Kheda and that, the Gujarat area, and they are selling it in Mumbai, which is the market, and they are making a lot of money, but they are not offering enough money to the milk producers in Kheda or, the Gujarat area. Okay, so they came together, form Amul, form the cooperative in Kheda. So the first one was Anand Milk Union Limited, Amul, Anand Milk Union Limited. So that union was formed. They said, we are going to have our milk, we'll process it, okay, and we'll send it to Mumbai, okay, which was the market there, and that's how your Amul got emerged. Then they found there are some problems. They said, we do not have the capabilities or the managerial capabilities. We are good milk producers, we can produce, but in terms of management, we need someone. So they said, we need professionals. Okay, then NDDB came in, Varghese Kurian, and all these great individuals came in, and they take Amul to a newer level or the higher level. That's the benefit of professionalism and management. Production is one aspect, management is another aspect. Okay, so Varghese Kurian ji brought in that professionalism, and the Amul that we are seeing today is kind of experimenting, all across. It is coming with variety of products, not just in milk, but also related products and all of that. So one of the big things that they have kind of addressed, and which is something which we can learn about, is the scale at which they have done it. A large number of growers, it is not about 50, 100 growers. They have a large number of growers. They have about 2.7 million members. This is real old data, So you may say about 30 lakhs or more milk producers part of one, cooperative, or one set of cooperative, all right? And look at the current, the infrastructure, the quantity, the quality that they are bringing in. That's enormous. They have said, okay, if we have to do it, we need to have a institution at the village level. So they created milk cooperative societies. Okay, then say we need to process it, and that can be done at the town or city level or the district level. So they have this district milk union. So milk from milk cooperatives reaches the district union, dairies, etc. There it is processed, various products are formed. They say, okay, but we need a marketing group also, which will help us find customers. So then GCMM was created, This model is about that. The Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation was created for that. Okay, you look after marketing. Okay, the production will be looked after by the district milk union. The collection of milk will be taken care of by the village level milk societies, and there are growers. And then they make this model work. Okay, there was professionalism, this model worked, and now you see n number of the cooperatives in India, milk cooperatives. And if you look at overall the scenario of cooperatives in India, you will see that milk cooperatives are highly efficient and most successful out of all the cooperatives that are there. Okay, it is, and these set of cooperatives are called as Anant pattern of cooperatives. Okay, so your Saras in Rajasthan or your Sudha in Bihar, or these brands, they're all based on the Anant pattern or the Amul model. They have these three sets of, okay, village level society, district union, processing, etc. And then you have a marketing federation, state level marketing federation, and they sell. And one good thing about this model is that about 70% of, whatever is being, earned, it goes to the producers, the person who has given half a liter of milk a day to the one who has given 100 liters of milk a day. So all kinds of producers there, and they get 75% of, or 78% of what is being given by the consumer. So that's why this model is working. And throughout the chain, the ownership of the milk or the product, milk remains with the owners. That's the cooperative model for you. If it could be created, it's the most, most beautiful thing or most important thing to do. So there is this model, but there has been attempt to, follow this model in other sector, fruits, vegetable, etc. But it has not been that successful, because it is at times about ethos and the hard work that goes in building these systems. You need to give a lot of effort to build them and then make them work, and then do course correction and all of that. Okay, so that's one model. You may see this model in front of you. Okay, I've talked about it. Okay, and also in between, there are large number of other products being also offered to members. So it's not just that there is flow of milk, there is also flow of services and information. Okay, two ways. Okay, there are also veterinary services being given to the cattle owners by the milk societies. Okay, various kinds of vaccinations being given. Okay, artificial insemination services to the cattle. So all these kinds of services are being given. Also the payment, the flow of money is also smooth. Okay, it's not that your payment will not be done in 1 month or so. There is this, there is advance payment at times. Okay, and at the end of the year also there would be dividends which will be offered. All right, if there is some surplus, that will be sent in form of services or the cash gifts, etc., to the members. So that's how the system. So the people remain engaged, they remain loyal. Once a member has become, once a milk producer has become a member of Amul, he has that, thinking that, okay, there would be something coming on my way, maybe at the end of the year, for the services that I've done today, the milk I've given. So there are these. Okay, that's one model. There is another model, Nandini, which goes by the name of Nandini. Okay, this is in Karnataka largely. The brand is Nandini. This is also for milk. what they have done, there is a slight change in what, Amul has done. Okay, so there is this slight change. What they have done, they said, okay, we don't need a state level federation. They found that state level federation is extremely challenging. So what we'll do, we'll have a village level cooperative society, and we'll have a district level federation come, the union. So they stopped at that. So they have these 2 levels. Okay, they do have 3 levels, but that state federation is more of a advisory, but the power is with district union. So this is a slight modification over Amul. In Amul, the most powerful of the 3 levels is the GCMMF, the marketing federation, which sells. In this one, the most powerful is the district union, which processes and sells. Okay, the state level is only advisory. Okay, the scale of operation is slightly lower in Nandini, but it has done well in the Karnataka region. Okay, all right, this has done well. All right, this is done well. The scale is lower, but this is something which can be looked at also. Okay, they have given more powers to district unions, not much power to the federations, because what has Amul seen is that the state level federations have become at times political bodies. They become political in nature. They get involved in state level politics and all of that. Okay, here they said, let us not have state level federation, let us stop at district union, so there would be less politicization, and so they have reaped benefits of that. Then there is this private model by Nestle. The chocolates that you consume, it has milk coming from Punjab Moga through that Nestle model. Okay, this is a different kind of model. They have collection centers in and around Moga. Okay, and they supplies largely to Delhi NCR region. Okay, and they produce a lot of milk and milk products. All right, but here the one difference is that whatever is being earned, okay, of that only 47% goes to the milk growers. Okay, and the remaining goes to the shareholders of Nestle. But in case of Amul, about 80% goes. But this model is in terms because it gives private incentives. Okay, okay, there are agents also, they get money. So this is another model to look at. Here, if you are a shareholder, you are going to make money, right? Here you can also grow up and all of that, because you have reasonable number of members to deal with. Amul has 3 million people to kind of address and take consent and all of that. Here the number is less. So this is another model which is its own set of strength. If you compare the two, you'll see the technology that is being used by Nestle, the processing technology and the kind of the standards that it meets is far higher than Amul. Okay, so the quality what it produces, the kind of chocolates and all of that, they are of far better quality, or dairy milk and all that you're seeing on Nestle, other stuff, they are too high than Amul in terms of those chocolates. So that's there. That model can be looked at. This is the model. There is this also this the heritage food, Andhra based heritage food. Okay, coastal Andhra. Okay, so that's also there. One very good learning from this model is that it has looked at the two-way reverse logistics. So it is not just about making your products reach the consumers, but it's we'll also look at those consumers as the producers also. Okay, so they have used that. Okay, so while we are going to the markets, we are going to collect the raw material, but when we are going there, we'll take with us the products to sell. So that same vehicle will be used, efficiently 2 times. Okay, you are going in with the products, you are coming up with the raw material for the thing. So they have looked at that. So they have also prospered. Again, the scale of operation is low, but they have some lessons. Hindustan Unilever has also used their two-way logistics. Okay, they have used their HUL Shakti model is doing that. They are using the self-help group leaders as the raw material providers to them, and also acting as the agent to sell their produce. So they collect raw material from them, whatever oil, etc., and they give them the products to sell. So using the vehicle efficiently. So the vehicle is not going empty anyhow. Okay, so that is there. That's important. Okay, so there are these lessons which can be looked at. Also, there is mother dairy, which you may have seen a large number of products. So there are these 5-7 models of milk, and each one is unique in itself. One or the other thing that is there. If you look at mother dairy and all of that, in Delhi NCR region and also in Bangalore, they have this Safal market, online wala platform for agriculture stuff in 2000. That was a dream. These days we see a lot of online platform, but doing that in 2000 was, itself a big achievement. Mother Dairy has done that. Mother has done that. They have also variety of products beyond milk, which is doing well. So there are some lessons. Couple auction market is there. Then there is this HPMC model, which is government run. Now here, this model is not about, noting successes, but the weaknesses. Okay. This is about weaknesses. Here, the biggest challenge for this model is that they have not done a lot of hard work towards procurement. And there is a lot of this go and, to and fro kind of stuff. And they have seen challenges there. We have done a study on them. And in 2010, we have seen that, that they are running at about the capacity of 20%, 16 to 20% only. So they are not earning at all. They are producing a lot of apple juices and all of that. Apple is a very big raw material for them. But the biggest challenge for them is that the competition that they have from the fresh market. There are a large number of people who are demanding apple from Tamil Nadu to Gujarat and all, from all those areas. And so they are competing. They are asking for good quality apples, but what is being available for them from in the Himachal and the Kashmir market is the second grade or third grade apple, because the first grade goes to the areas. Okay, people pay. So that's the lesson. How will you ensure? What Pepsi has done, they have those contract growers, and here they have not. They have that challenge. Okay, the apple available to them for processing is not of the superior quality. Challenge. All right, they have found ways to deal with that. They started going for early agreements, etc. All right, and they have found newer places, the villages, etc., which are not being covered, which don't have these, aggregation centers. They done that. So some lessons there as well. Then ITC Chopal, you'll be knowing, they have used internet as a way to reach consumers. Okay, or not consumers to be precise. They have reached, they have used internet to connect to the people who are producing good soybean or good raw material for them. They said, okay, there are a large number of agents in between and you are scattered. So what we'll do, we'll provide internet with a person, sanchalak, an operator in each of your village or the village where there is a good quality production of soybean. So let us have the centers there. We'll provide internet to you. You go to that, operator, that small place that we have rented. Okay, you go to that place, ask for the price that ITC is giving. If you are happy with that price, you kind of, make an agreement. You kind of agree that you will sell to our center. That guy will issue you a pink slip. Take that slip, go to our collection center, give that slip and take your money and give your stuff. So the biggest challenge for ITC before that was they are not getting the good quality soybean to use, or not, good quality stuff to make a lot of their products. They have these brands, Sunfeast, etc., which are coming, but they are not getting good raw material. And through this internet, they have reached the places where there is production of good stuff, and they have offered them, okay, we are offering you directly. So they have removed a lot of middlemen from in between, and they made a kind of win-win for both the growers and for them. Here they both make money, and the middlemen who were earlier earning a lot out of this, lack of information, they are out of the system. So the middlemen are, they were kind of removed or bypassed through this system. So that is there. Okay, that's, you may use technology or internet, etc., to find out the solutions to the problems which are there, which you cannot remove, physically, or that way you will do it through technology, right? Earlier, there used to be this sort of corruption, in the system. Then there is this online payment, online payment to growers. So all those corruption is gone. All those middlemen are gone. So those bank accounts are useful, so that the technology can be useful. So these days, if you look at opportunity, you'll see technology is something where there is a lot of scope, and it is kind of addressing a large number of challenges. Okay. Then you have this Sugna poultry, a contract farming, they've said, they've thought about, okay, if we start producing, if you start rearing birds, etc., at our level, it will be extremely challenging. But there are these growers who have land and surplus labor available at their households, So why not just train them to how to rear these small chickens, small chicks at their place. And when they grow up, we are going to take these birds on the live weight and be happy, they'll also get some money for that rearing, and we don't need big places for rearing and maintaining those standards and all of that. And also micromanagement is at times easy, at a small level it is easy, but when you're doing macro, you have to go for all kinds of things. So Sugna has said, okay, you produce for us, we are going to pay you on the weight of the bird, we are going to give you context from where you can get your feed and all of that. So that's how they sorted some problems. All right. So then there is this PepsiCo model of contract farming that we have talked about. Okay, so there are these lessons from all these models. All right, so I'll just jump. Then there is this McCain model where they said, okay, what earlier PepsiCo was offering is that, okay, you take a fixed price for the potatoes that you give us. McCain said, not just the fixed price. We'll have three agreements. One is fixed price. The second one is spot price. Okay, at the time of selling, what is the price in the market? We are going to offer you that. Or the third one is, it's a kind of a flexible pricing. Okay, so what PepsiCo has done in Punjab, McCain has done it in Gujarat, Nagar area and all of that, some other places as well. But that's how they are ensuring that there is a raw material supplied to them. So there are these various models through which there is this Desai cold storage. They have started exporting to foreign countries mangoes, etc. So they said, we'll export, we'll make use of that. So there are these various models which you may look at. So largely, there are these lessons these models have put in. So I'll stop here. We'll have 5-10 minutes of your questions. Okay, so please raise your hand. I hope there are few hands being raised. I'll have a look. Okay. Can you type your questions? I couldn't see your raised hands on my screen. Just stop the sharing. Yeah. So if you have any question, please raise your hands or type your question in the chat box. I hope chat is available to you. Or you can just raise your hand and I can just unmute. Yeah. So I could see a raised hand, or there are 4 or 5 hands. So I could see Muhammad Salim Rahmani. So I'll just unmute you. I hope I can unmute you. Yeah, Muhammad ji, please ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Muhammad ji, good afternoon.
Sir, how to control the internal and external environment factors in industry?
Pardon, I couldn't get a question. How to control?
How to control the internal and external environment factors.
For which one?
Yes, internal and external factors, environmental factors in industry.
Okay, so if you are looking at internal and external environment, right? So you are asking in general, or you are asking about broadly?
Broadly, sir.
Broadly, you're asking, right? You're not asking, I would say, specifically. So see, there are always issues, if you look at internal things, but they are the things that you can control. So one of the things is how you create your organization and what is the culture that you kind of, play around or, kind of maintain. So that's kind of internal. So which is how you form your organization, what are your kind of relationships. So that's controllable. External environment is something which you have to take. You can't change much there. Okay, so you have to accept it and you have to adjust yourself to that. What you can do, you can look at how other players, okay, they are looking at the environment, what steps are they taking, what measures are they taking, and you can be with them. Generally, in some of these industries, there are associations. Okay, there are these associations which look at the common causes, and in a sense, they have some say even in the external environment, in the policy making. So being a part of those associations could help.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Newton Kumar ji.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is
your
that.
Question, your question.
Sir, in 1 or 2 slides, I've seen that you have maintained the agro-based industries and output sector and input sector.
Correct.
In input sector, there is fertilizer, seed-based industries, and other agro-based industries like biotech industries also.
Correct.
Sir, currently as being I'm graduate, I am the final year student, and currently I am sitting in placement also.
Ji.
Yes, sir. The one of the main and one of the painkiller thing is that, sir, the company is not rewarded as more than 3 lakh, 3.5 lakh. It means, sir, 3 and 50 lakh scores like that. But that is actual package. Is it okay to doing work in agro-based industry, sir? Because you know that the
Mhm,
person who is doing in IT sector job, they're
mhm.
getting the at least 6 lakh, 7 lakh, 8 lakh package of that things. And we are doing an actual work in the field level
Okay,
and the industries level, and we are continuing standing and marketing and different type of work channels having input
okay,
sectors. Is it too fine to get 3 and 5 lakhs to 250 lakhs like that package, sir?
okay,
What is the main reason behind it, sir? Why the package
okay,
of agro industries and agriculture industries is like too much low?
okay. So are you talking about the placement after graduation or after post graduation?
After graduation, sir.
Okay, after graduation, see if graduation is largely about technical, kind of understanding. So the kind of job that you are saying, the marketing, etc., it requires, the management skills, etc. So I have seen, some 10 years back, people are getting more than 5 lakhs. I'm saying 10 years back, so you may just double that number. People after management do get quite good salaries, very good salaries also in the agri inputs. Okay, but graduation is something which helps you understand the subject, but marketing and all those require specialized skills. So going for PGP or these PGDM or the MBA helps a lot in terms of that, because there are different skills are there is always this upward ceiling that comes if you just have graduation. Okay, post graduation is must if you are looking at marketing job and all of that. There the salaries are on a higher side, at least I can assure. I can tell you about 2008, when I was also part of went in for placement. Some of our guys went in for 6-7 lakhs about 15 years back, I'm talking about. So currently 10-12 lakhs would be kind of an average. I'm not very sure, but generally that would be the average. At 3 and 5 is for graduation, but so 2 years of investment may help you kind of double or triple the kind of remuneration that are in. But the thing is, you should look at numbers, and I believe ISB can give you the updated numbers, and they can also help you. But going for PGDM helps. Okay, graduation is kind of considered as a basic level. Okay, otherwise managerial and all kinds of jobs, you need a degree. Okay. All right. Okay, Utkarsh Mishra ji, I'm just unmuting yourself. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Sir, I totally agree with you, whatever you told us about the salary packages during graduation. Even I also did the graduation last year, and I went to the off-campus placement. I also got placement in RPCI, Rent-to-Kill Pest Control of India, Noida branch, as operations executive. He's actually absolutely right. And I also went to the same criteria, same scenario. And after graduation, we really need to get those technical skills or managerial skills. Otherwise, we won't be able to do the work properly. And there is no such benefits we would be able to take out from that job if we don't have such skills or technical skills or managerial skills. So we really need to learn first of all, then only we can go for it. And
Yeah,
otherwise, I can share that moment with you, with all of you, that I've been working there for 6 months around, and probably I tried to work a lot, but still I won't be able to go through, all that process. So I was being paid 3 lakhs per annum, as you can say 25,000 per month. But when I was in very short period of time, I got this that yes, I need to get such kind of technical skills, managerial skills. I need to learn first of all. Then only I will be able to work, and it
yeah,
will be a great opportunity to work there. And then only we will be able to get the higher salary approaches to us.
yeah. That is this.
So
That's true. That's what you're saying is true. Also, what happens is
yes,
that when you are, going through campus placements, there that the
yes,
thing is that there is more level of trust in between you and the organization, and they,
yes,
kind of reward you. So the campus placement helps. When you go through open market, then there are challenges. Then
then
the
there are
salaries
challenges.
offered are that. So largely
Then there
campus
are.
placement helps. That's what I have seen in last 15 years or so, that the campus placement, they are more rewarding than the open kind of placements. All
True,
right.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Gaurav Sarkarji.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Gauravji.
So it was a great webinar, sir, which you took right now.
Yeah,
So
thank
first of all,
you. Thank you.
Sir, I am currently a BSc Agriculture third year student.
Okay.
So what I need to do to break through FMCG sectors in my future career?
Okay. So the first thing is you should add to your knowledge. Okay, you should read a lot of stuff in this sector. Okay. The second thing is you need to know about and learn about the current business environment. Okay, in this area. So you need to add to your knowledge. You need to add to your skills. Okay. So if you are looking towards a managerial kind of position, you need to add to your managerial skills. And as I mentioned, you require a 2 years, PGDM or 2 years MBA there. Because if you are looking at sales position, etc., at times, they want graduation, but at times even the eligibility is, postgraduate in that, and that too, the MBA kind. So that thing one has to look at. But do add to your knowledge, and do I would say interact with large number of people who are in that sector. Okay, add to your skill.
So PGTM course is necessary for that sector, I guess so.
See, if you are looking at managerial position, at times, they ask for that. Okay. If you are looking at a managerial position, management trainee or the assistant manager, area manager, business, or I would say regional manager. So there, you require managerial skills, and there are these postgraduate programs in management, So that's why I'm saying.
Right,
but if you feel like you are getting sales job through graduation, you may go through, but at times, I've seen people, they kind of, hit the ceiling. The ceiling is that they'll say you have the graduation, but to get promotion, to become assistant manager or regional manager, you require a managerial degree. Then these people go for the part-time MBAs and all of that. So you have those two routes. Either you do it now or you do it later the part-time way. The choice is yours. But the thing is, if you are looking for a managerial job, you'll require a postgraduate degree in management sooner or later. So you have to decide. If you are looking at managerial, if you are going in the production side, etc., you may not need. I'm not very sure. Generally, it's you may need it even in that. But please check. Okay, so I'll take one more question. Okay, Deepak Mehra ji, you can speak. Yeah, Deepak ji.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Deepak ji.
Sir, I'm doing my graduation and I'm in my third year. My question is MBA in ABM is a good career option or not after graduation? Or I should have some job work experience before entering in MBA?
Okay, it's a very good question, That's a very good question. And what I can say is that it kind of depends, it kind of depends. If you are prepared at the moment to go for MBA, do it right now, because there would be continuity in your studies and you may gain a lot. But if you feel like, okay, if you want to gain some experience, if you want to understand the sector now, it is not bad to do that. If you are getting a good placement at the moment, after graduation, get that placement, you can always come back. But there would be discontinuity. Your habit to study and do all that stuff will be gone. So there would be change. So it depends. I've seen people doing well on both sides. So my answer will be, it depends. I've seen people doing well on both sides. People coming with work experience, they share a lot, they learn a lot because they have seen the field. But I've also seen freshers, they don't have anything to unlearn. They learn, and so they have become great. So it's a two, it depends. I leave it to you. You are the best decision maker for that question. I've seen both of the guys doing well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. I'll close here. I hope there are no more questions. And I'm also running short of time, so I'll close here. It's pleasure to talk to you all. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
All right, students, your next session is at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Am I correct? Wait, let me just give you the rights to unmute yourself if you have any questions. Give me a second. If you have any questions, you can go wild. Now you can unmute yourself. Any questions? And now you don't need to raise your hand, just unmute yourself and speak, please.
Hello, sir. I'm Gaurav.
Hello. Hi, Gaurav.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, today at 11 a.m. due to some college queries, I missed that first webinar. Sir, where can I get the recording of the first webinar?
Recordings, if they will be shared, they'll be shared after this in the entire session. The entire program is over, and in fact, after the quiz has been taken, if it will be shared, and it will be intimated accordingly. Okay, so for now, the recording will be shared, at least till the program is over. Anybody else? Any questions about the program, about the schedule? If any queries you have, very specific queries, you can, I'm sure you have the email ID that you can reach me. There's events at, hi Antra.
Sir, will the PDFs will be, would the PDFs will be provided to us, or is just the sessions?
What PDF, sorry?
Whatever
PDF
the,
what
whatever
exactly?
sir have, whatever Dinesh sir has shown us and in this session.
I will check up with the faculty. It's their teaching material. So I will check up with the faculties, and whatever material they provide, I will put them in the groups, and I'll put them in the links on this meet later as well. So it depends on the faculties, and actually you need to request them. If you want something, you can straight up request them. I'll obviously ask them about this. But if something you require from the faculties, you can definitely reach them, and the faculties will also give you their email IDs and their contacts so that you can reach them out anytime if you have questions, even in the future. They're very great faculties, very great helping people. So that will be sorted.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Anything else I can help you with? So how was your first day? Anybody wants to share their experience? How was the first day of ACP 2.0? Diksha.
So Gaurav again, sir.
Okay, hi Gaurav. Yes, go for it.
Sir, it was great, sir. It was great. Too much knowledge to learn, sir.
Too much?
Yes, sir. Too much
Is that in a
knowledge.
good sense or a bad sense? Too much. Couldn't grasp all of it?
Yes, sir. I would say that.
Hello, that's a very good thing. That's great. That's just five more days to go for that. So please fill your buckets with knowledge. Yes, Diksha, still waiting for your answer.
सर मैंने काफी सारे सेशन लिए एंड इट वाज अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस विद ऑल ऑफ देम. बहुत ज्यादा उनको नॉलेज है पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में, ऑब्वियसली एग्रीकल्चर में. सो इट वाज अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस. फाइनली हमें समझ में आया कि अभी किस पे ज्यादा फोकस करना है एग्रीकल्चर में. फील्ड में हमें फील्ड वाइज समझ में आया, अदरवाइज वी जस्ट गो विद द फ्लो कि जो भी चल रहा है अभी, जो भी हमें स्टडी मटेरियल है हम उस पे फोकस कर रहे थे, मेनली हमारे सिलेबस पे जो भी हमें आईसीआर प्रोवाइड करता है. बट अभी नाउ वी हैडंट कि अभी फ्यूचर में किसमें एग्रीकल्चर में इम्प्रूवमेंट होना है, तो हमें मार्केट में क्या डिमांड है राइट नाउ, अब हम डायरेक्शन मिला है. सो इट वाज अमेजिंग.
लवली. ठीक है, चलो आप एक्सप्लॉइट करिए अच्छे से सारे फैकल्टी को. हाँ जी, रामाराव जी कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे?
पहले तो रहा है
मुझसे नहीं कहना चाह रहे. ठीक है. All right, students, then see you tomorrow at 11. Actually, please join 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before actually. Any important information that we have to give you, we do in those 15 minutes. Okay, by the time that is given in the itinerary, that is the time for the faculties to join. So faculties join at those times. ठीक है, अगर आप उसके बाद ज्वाइन करेंगे देन यू लूज आउट सम टाइम एंड पूरे सेशन का थोड़ा टाइम वेस्ट होता है. ठीक है, तो डोंट ज्वाइन 15 मिनट्स पहले. ठीक है, आपको कैमरा 5 मिनट 10 मिनट पहले ऑन करना होता है. सो दैट इज नॉट एन इशू. ज्वाइन 15 मिनट्स बिफोर। कोई भी इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है हम आपको उतनी 15 मिनट में देंगे। कोई अपडेट होता है, कोई चेंज होता है, ठीक है। सो सी यू टुमारो एट नॉट 11, 10:45, ठीक है
सर मेरे को थोड़ा लेट इनविटेशन मिल गया सर, 20 मिनट्स लेट।
ये सारे इश्यूज प्लीज मेल अस एट events। मैं एक बार यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ मैसेज में भी, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
फॉर एनी क्वेरीज गाइस मेल अस एट, मैं आपको आपके सामने बोल भी देता हूँ, ईमेल आईडी इज events EVENTS @isab.org.in, ठीक है। That would be the email ID, ठीक है। एंड यू कैन शूट अस अगर ऐसे छोटी मोटी चीजें होती हैं। बाकी आपके इटनरी के अंदर भी आपके नंबर्स हैं, आपके रजिस्ट्रेशन लिंक में भी नंबर्स हैं। आपको कोई भी मैसेज आता है उसके अंदर आपके नंबर एंड ईमेल आईडी आपके सबके पास अवेलेबल है, ठीक है। तो इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस यू कैन शूट देम देयर। अदरवाइज सी यू एट 10:45 tomorrow।
Okay, sir.
Thank you guys, thank you for
Thank you,
that।
sir. Bye, sir.
Yeah, Utkarsh, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please।
Good evening, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good evening। Sorry?
So my question is,
Yeah।
if I have to talk to the sports event administrator, so whom I should talk to?
Sorry, to come again?
Sir, if I have to talk to the sports event administrator, so whom I should talk to? Like, relevant?
Did you say sports event?
Yeah.
Sports,
If, like in future.
Sports event coordinator.
Yes, sir, coordinator. That's what I'm asking for.
I do not understand your question. What about a sports events coordinator?
Sir, basically, okay, I'll come to the point. Basically, I'm a professional football player. I was hoping that there would be some kind of sports events or tournaments would be happening. I didn't get any idea of this right now, up to now.
Okay.
So the student, so my seniors told me that yes, you should go to the sports event coordinator. You should contact him. I was trying to find out, but still I won't be able to. So that's why I'm asking you if you know such information, so you could pass it to me.
Okay, I don't have a direct answer to that. Let's connect personally, and I might be able to refer you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, surely. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you at 10:45 tomorrow.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you.